talk and talk, but from talking to reality, there's a really big difference.
All right, all right. LDBC. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Combat Sports Show live. I you know, I, I have this woman right here again on the screen. I'm talking to her live, and y'all just don't know how actually overly excited I get when I talk to Sabina, the Colombian Queen Mazo. How you doing today, Sabina?
I'm pretty good, thank you. Pretty good. Resting a little bit, but full of energy.
You full of energy? That's
Yeah.
that's good because your demeanor, you pretty much look the same throughout. You can be full of energy, and I wouldn't know you full of energy. You cannot be full of energy. I wouldn't know you're not full of energy because
Mhm.
all you do is train. You train hard.
Yeah, exactly. I love to do that. I always try to do it with passion and I always see the results during training and of course in the fights.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get choked up. Um, how's Master Cordero doing?
He's pretty good. Training all of the guys here. We have a lot of fighters that from the gym that have fights coming up, so we're keeping up the work. A lot of trainings, different fighters. Marvin has a fight from UFC. Benny has a fight next weekend. So all of the guys are pushing. It's great.
Okay. And now you get a lot of sparring time with those guys, right? I mean, those guys push you, and those guys tend to take it easy on you, or they don't take it easy on you.
No, of course we're different weights and sometimes I have to train with smaller guys, but we all go hard. That's King's MMA style, and we always try to go hard with each other. We're friends, but we need to help each other, and that's the only way to do it, pushing hard.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's what you've been doing for four of your fights because you 4-0. You 4-0 right now. You got two knockouts. Two of the fights went to decision, but they were unanimous because you dominated those two fights. You had a fight on March the 3rd. And
Yeah,
yeah, so what happened?
March 9th, actually.
See, I'm wrong.
Um, well, so the girl I was fighting with, she's from Argentina, and she signed the contract. Everything was good, and I think it was 1 week ago, something like that. She had got her visa denied, so she can't travel here to U.S. And there's nothing to do there. Some problems like that happen, and it's all good. As a fighter, I know there's always a chance that that can happen before a fight. So I'm not frustrated. A lot of people are like, "Oh no, that sucks," or "Sorry, that's bad." But no, to be honest, I don't care. That thing happened, and I'm just waiting for the next opponent for my next date, and that's it. Everything is in God's hands, and if if that fight didn't happen, it's because it didn't. It was not the moment. Maybe in the future.
Okay. And I like how you put that. Everything is in God's hands. Because God is. I think He's brought you this far, and I think this year, 2018. I think this is going to be your year, and I think you're going to have a lot of good things happen. You're going to have a lot of victories because I don't know, Sabina. I do my research on you before I even talk to you. I can't see anybody right now in your weight class, and even in the LFA, and even girl, if you even go to places like Invicta, I can't see anybody that can deal with you right now with this level of skill. I mean, what? I mean, what? So you have another opponent, right? Or somebody that's lined up, but you hadn't quite got the details on it yet.
I do have a possible opponent, but I haven't signed the contract. Uh, so if I don't have like the contract yet, I really don't know if that's gonna happen because it's been many times that they tell me, okay, you're gonna fight this girl, and it doesn't happen. So I have to wait. But there's one possible opponent, of course. And like you were saying before, I mean, I feel like every day I go to train, it's a victory, like a small victory. And for me, that's more than enough. Like I have health and I can go train. I can take the 100% from it. And the fight, I feel it's more the results of everything I've been done. So more than victories of the fight is the victory that as a fight built every day.
Okay. And no, guys, Sabina just dropped a gem, a nugget. Going to the gym every day is a victory. And people don't really look at it because people only see like the finished product. They see you, doing these head kicks, but they're not seeing the amount of hours that you got to put in to perfect that head kick. To perfect your ground game that's underrated. Why do you think so many people, they underrate your ground game? I mean, because I think you got a good ground. Your ground game is like the best kept secret.
Well, I think because people just haven't seen my ground game enough. They maybe saw it in my first two fights, but it's been a long time, and I've been training a lot of jiu-jitsu, a lot of ground, a lot of wrestling, a lot of different stuff. And for my last two fights, I didn't quite need it, It was not, I didn't have the chance to show it, but if I have the opportunity, I will show it. I'm ready for any stage of the fight. If it's standing up or the ground or in the transition between like the wrestling part. So I would love to show the people what I'm capable of. But I mean, it's not people's fault that they talk about my ground game. But the thing is that they don't know about it. So for sure, I know I can give a really good technique and all of it in the ground. So maybe show it one day.
Okay. Well, you know what? Just watching the training videos and seeing like how much work you're putting in, you're actually pretty good at submissions. What do you think is your most strongest submission? Without giving away like your game plans, your secrets.
Mm. Well, I love choking out people. I really like it. I think it's really fun. Any
Yeah.
choke, like from the back or anything. I think it's really fun for me. I like to do that a lot.
Okay. So rear naked choke.
Yeah.
Okay. Not guillotine. Not head and arm choke.
Also, yeah, but more rear naked choke.
Okay. Now, for the viewing audience, because I think people are misconstrued. They don't know like what weight class. What weight class are you going to be competing at, or what weight class are you going to be, trying to focus on?
125 pounds. That's my division.
That's a flyweight. That's the flyweight division.
Yeah, exactly.
So did you watch any of the tough tournament, the UFC tough?
I saw a couple of fights, but I didn't saw everything to be honest.
Okay.
I like to focus on my opponent when I fight, but mostly on me. I don't train for someone. I train for me and to be a better me. And if I'm better, I I accept the fight, I know I can beat that girl with my skills, not with the other fighter's skills. Of course, it's important to analyze your fighter, but at the same time, I feel I have to improve more on me than on my opponent.
Okay. So now this mystery opponent that you got coming up, because she's a mystery, she's a mystery right now. You is it? And I guess when you say you train for you, that means are you just telling everybody, hey, you know what? Whoever steps into the octagon, I'm ready for any style, any technique.
Yeah, basically is that. Anything can happen in a fight. I'm not saying like I'm the best and like I'll always win. That's only God knows that. But for sure, I'll be ready for anything, for any fighter and for any stage of the fight. I just I fight for be better fighter than my opponent, and and give it all. A small shot can end the fight, and it can be from any part of any opponent. So, I mean, it doesn't matter really what the fighter wants to do. It's what I really want to do against them.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm glad you mentioned God because God has been blessing you. God has been, God just said, hey, I'm going to make Sabina and I'm going to make her a skillful fighter. And then I'm going to allow her to knock people out. And then when she knock them out, then you're going to say God has a plan. Maybe that was God's plan for you to just knock everybody out. I mean, come on, God is doing the work. I mean, I guess you take faith that our works to a whole nother level, don't you?
Yeah, things happen, everything happens for a reason, and it's in God's hands. Whatever you said, like all the things you said, it's true. Um, I'm faithful with the things that happen to me, and I'm thankful for everything, for the bad things I feel or the good things that happen. Everything. It's for a reason.
Okay. And guys, I like this part of you because you're giving people some nuggets. You're giving them, just stuff. Prepare for everybody. Things happen, but you got to have faith. To get through all of this stuff. Because the lifestyle of a fighter is not. It's not easy, right? It's not an easy lifestyle. It's
No, it's not.
so like on a regular. Because people really don't know this. Like, how much time do you actually get to spend with friends and your loved ones because of the lifestyle?
Well, like I don't know if everyone knows, but my family all lives in Colombia, where my country, my home country. So basically here I have my family. That's all the training partners I have, everything, everyone canes. And I'm with them like mostly of all days. I'm always training, so I'm with them. But when I'm not training, of course, I try to be with them. But I also have to go to school. So if I'm not training, I'm studying. If I'm not studying, I'm usually resting. And sometimes I take time for them. But it's not. I mean, I don't see it anymore as a sacrifice because I really enjoy to do that. And but it takes a lot of time. If you want to do something, you have to spend time on that. So um, yeah, I do have time for my friends, but mostly I think I have time for myself to just relax and try to distract my mind from all the work I have to do.
You're a very relaxed person. It's just because you said you get a lot of energy, and sometimes I can't tell because it's like you just relax. You really relaxed, and that's why I like talking to you. Like you don't your personality, like you're very relaxed, and it's easy to just have a conversation about just whatever. But you relaxed, and you like that when you fight. Like you don't panic. You take a shot, and it don't phase you. Because I guess of your faith. You just go in there and you execute the game plan the way y'all drew it up. I mean, Sabina, were you always like this?
Um, kind of, I feel I'm a relaxed person. Of course, I have my doubts. I have fears sometimes, not of losing, but fears of what's gonna happen, like um, how it's gonna be training or like stress from school. And there's a lot of stuff. But I feel like every time I overstress, I just can't find a solution. So it's not worth it. And of course, I have my times, like, oh, it's too much. But I think, and like, if I'm thinking too much, if I'm overstressing, I'm not finding any solution. So I fall back again to trying to relax, and it always works. So yes, I think I'll be always being like this, but everyone has their time where they overstress.
Even Sabina Mazo, y'all. Even Sabina Mazo. This young lady, the reason why I'm so impressed with you because, I just don't see people in your age range that's just so focused. They're concentrating on like just like clubbing or partying or just a lot of other stuff outside. But you're like focused, man. You got like a level of focus. And I'm sitting there like, man, I wonder if Sabina is a Dragon Ball Z character or something. Like, man, she freaking, you focus. And I can tell, like, because when you fight, the longer you're out of a fight and when you come back, your opponent's day in trouble. Because, you're not like, and I'm looking at you now, you don't even look like you're like heavy. You look like you could go fight in 2 weeks. That's how you look like you could go have a fight in 2 weeks and you'd be fine. Like, kid, I'm sorry, young lady, the discipline is really, it's invigorating to see because you're, and you're setting a good example for what, this generation needs, because this generation is not all about people on the phone and texting all day. You're actually working your butt off every day.
Yeah, to be honest, I think that's one of the biggest message I think I want to inspire to people. Um, it's like, I mean, nowadays you can see a lot of people admiring others, but at the same time not doing anything to be like them. Just like watching them through the phone, social media nowadays, Instagram and stuff, and like, oh, I wanna be like that person, but there's just dreams, and they don't fight for what they really want. So I think it's important to inspire to people, not only for like admiration from someone, but to do the work, to step and actually fight for what they want, and find the real reason to be alive. Sometimes we just live and that's it, without any purpose or any any goal that you have in your life, and you just keep living and like being alive without any sense to be alive. I don't know if you understand that, but yeah, I think it's important to inspire others to work for what they really want.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
I'm glad.
I'm really inspired. And you know what? Now I'm gonna start thinking, man, golly, I don't want to produce this, but what is Sabina Mazo doing? Dang, I bet you she's in the gym. I better really focus on getting this done. Because what would Sabina do? I think I'm gonna start a what would Sabina do thing. Like, would Sabina sit and let this work get away from her, or would she just jump on it? Sabina would jump on the work immediately and get it done.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
Well,
inspiring.
but also what I've learned in this past year, I think 2 months or 1 month, I'm not sure. It's already March now, so um, I always like to do hard work, but it's also important to uh, take your rest. It doesn't mean like don't do work, but actually focus on recover, not only physical recover, but mentally recover. If you're all the time thinking about, uh, for example, someone that goes to work, and they go all to work all the week, and the weekend they're thinking about what they have to do next week. They never stop, and your mind is gonna get to one point that it's not gonna work anymore. So I think I've been learning that a lot this past year, that it's trying to relax a little bit more mentally, and distract from your daily routine. It doesn't mean you don't need to go hard and do hard work, but also put like balance. You need balance in your life. You can't go to a point that you just ruin your body and your mind. You have to always try to keep it with a balance and make you whatever makes you happy. Do whatever makes you happy.
Wow. You know what? I appreciate the words of wisdom that you're giving everybody, because yeah, you got a lot of wisdom. You got a lot of wisdom, and the words, they're pretty powerful. They're real powerful. And I guess I understand now why you're so successful. Why things are working out for you. And you're reaching the goals. Is it really hard? With the early success. How do you keep yourself grounded? Like, how do you keep yourself grounded to everything? Because you have had a lot of success. I mean, you got like 2 videos that went viral. I mean, it's crazy. And if you type your name in, you pop up.
Well, I try not to. I mean, I always surround with good people. I think that's important. Um, Everyone like at Kings, it's really humble, and that always remind me of, who I truly are, and like, and all the values that I have to have as a human. So that really helps, like the people that surrounds me, and to be honest, not believing everything that people says. Because when you win, everyone is with you. Everyone will be in your side and celebrating with you, but maybe when I don't have a victory, they're not gonna be there. Even they're not there the whole training. They're always there when I win and everything. But the hard part, where I'm training and everything, no one is there. No one is supporting you or whatever. So I don't believe too much in fame. I don't think that. I mean, of course, people will start following you more and more, but I try not to believe in that. Because people can talk and talk, but from talking to reality, there's a really big difference.
Wow. Guys, she broke it down in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Just like that. Wow. Well, Sabina, speaking of support, how can people actually, because I know I'm kind of, now when I interview fighters, you guys have like, sponsors, people that sponsor you. Like, how can a normal average person just, support you? Like, what could they do? If they say, you know what? Sabina Mazo is one of my favorite fighters, and I actually want to support, or like you guys let people sponsor you, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People can sponsor me. It can be, I don't know, depends on what they want to sponsor with. If they have a brand, or is it with economic things or whatever. And I don't know. I can do some public things like pictures in Instagram or in the fights, wear it in the shorts or in the whatever, all the things I can do to try to show their image, and they can of course contact me. I don't have too many sponsors, um, just because I don't know. I never. I only have few that are really with me, since the beginning, and like more than anything, they show the real support with me. So I like that. I like when the sponsorships are like loyal, and it's more as a family, not only like, oh, I just want to sponsor you and give two short shirts and that's it. No, I feel it's more personal, and I like to identify with, if it's a person or a brand, I would really like to have that identification with them.
Mm. So even if people want to do stuff like even cover some of your training expenses, like what if people really wanted to do that and actually really physically get in there and say, you know what, yeah, you know what, this, hey, yeah, you got Sabina Mazo. She embodies what a fighter is. She lives the fighter lifestyle. She's doing what it, can people just say, hey, Sabina, I just want to, help you with some of your training expenses?
Yeah, that would be actually great. It's really expensive, and mostly fighters recover and trainings and food. Food is really expensive, and yeah, they just contact me, and we can work it out. That would be great.
Okay, guys, you hear it. I'm contacting her right now because I'm gonna cover some of her training expenses. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it. So what you have to do though is maybe you can maybe tell us tell people how they can get a hold of you, because I'm actually gonna do it. As soon as I cut this video off, I'm gonna ask you where do I send, how can I send my dollars to help with the training expenses. I'm so serious right now because I see where you're going. And I actually I sponsor a few fighters. I just, help with the training expenses. Because that stuff adds up, it does add up, and you have to be able to do that stuff, and you have to have the best. You can't have like a second-rate trainer. And you got one of the best. Rafael
Yeah.
Cordero, you got one of the best. That man, I tell you what, if I touched his hand, I don't know, my hand would turn to gold if I touched his hand. I'm pretty sure it would. So, but yeah. So definitely, I can put, the information on the screen, how they can do it, physically. Because I have people that, when we talk and we do live streaming sometimes, and they just give money, and I'm like, well, shoot, I would like some of this money to go to the fighters, because that's what it's for, because they giving money to children. Well, I actually want that money to go to, fighters. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it a lot, and more than anything, I feel like you've been always like supporting me, and your calls are really fun. I like to do the interviews. But yeah, going back, they just can contact me, Instagram or Facebook. Sabina Maso, like message me, DM me, and I'm always like trying to answer everyone. So yeah, that'll be good.
Okay, folks, y'all hear it. Y'all hear it. Hey, we can do this now. We can take some of the stress, just even cover some stuff. Hey, because I definitely want to see this fighter. This fighter's gonna do stuff. So yes, I'm with it. I'm on board. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Soon as we get off this call, I'm gonna do it. Watch.
Thank you.
You'll see. I
Thank
guarantee.
you.
I'm gonna send it. And if it's like a PayPal, you want to direct people, hey man, we're gonna get that thing cranking. Oh yeah. So Sabina, before I let you go, I want to do I actually want to do some like fight logistics, like some breakdown of skills, because see,
Okay.
I know this is what you're gonna get into. So Sabina, for the casual fan, could you explain the purpose of, okay, you got different kind of mitts, okay? You got like
Mhm.
the mitts that, your trainers put on your hand to work on your punches. But now you got the mitts where, they work on your kicks, okay? So
Yeah.
what do these, how are these mitts, doing different mitts? How is that effective, Like what's the need for those? Just for the casual fan.
Okay, so the small mates are usually more for boxing, right? You can kick with those, but it's kind of dangerous, because it's really small, and maybe the person holding can not hold the kick, catch the kick, and it can kick you in the head or I don't know, whatever. So that's why they have two like sizes of mitts. The ones to hold punches and kicks, and ones that are only for like boxing. Of course, you can use if you only have the boxing mitts. It's fine. You can totally hold the kicks. Just be careful and that's it. But yeah, usually it's not the big difference. And of course, one will work a little bit more speed. The smaller ones you can work a little bit more speed, because the big ones it's a little bit harder to move around. So that's like the major difference, like speed, and one has a little bit more diversity. You can throw kicks, knees, elbows, punches, everything. And when the small ones, mostly punches and maybe some elbows.
Okay. All right. And see, folks, Sabina just gave y'all a class, y'all. So if you think to want to go in and do some, some simple mitt drills, Sabina has told you, how to do it. She just broke it down. So now the next question I've always had: how do you protect your shins? Because that's a sensitive spot on your body. When you kick people with them, and like how do you do it?
Well, sometimes we train with the shin pads, but sometimes, other times you just gotta train it, and the more you hit it, it's gonna be stronger, literally. Sometimes it hurts, but it's a pain that will pass, and the more you get stronger, it's gonna hurt less in a fight, because in a fight you have to block kicks, and that hurts, so you really have to train it, and the only way is to get hit there. So kind of try to make it harder, every time by kicking or by blocking during trainings. Um, Try to do it sometimes without any protection, any shin pads, like that will help, But we do that a lot with master. Sometimes we just don't wear anything and start a kick, try to block, and do some stuff.
Okay. So now I kind of want to get into this. Which do you prefer more? Okay. When you're fighting an opponent and you're trying to establish a little bit of range, do you prefer to use your hands, or do you prefer to use your feet when you want to keep the range and the distance between you and an opponent?
Well, that depends on the opponent. If I have more reach with my hands, I'd like to do a little bit more with my hands in boxing, because I have long arms. But I fight with girls my size almost, and we have almost the same reach in hands. So sometimes you have to change for your feet, and try to um, do more kicks and stuff to try to stabilize like your distance, and like try to have like good range, But mostly with my hands, it's usually what I like to do.
Okay. So I found a couple of questions, and I know it's been a little minute. Okay, so could you tell everybody what's the purpose of like actually establishing a good leg kick? Like what's the purpose of that? And I'm asking you questions that the casual fan they really don't know.
Yeah. What's the purpose of what? Sorry, I
What's the
didn't.
purpose of the low leg kick? Like what do you use it for in your arsenal of weapons?
Well, that really stops the person to like stop punching or kicking. If they hurt your leg, I mean, if it really hurts, you will stop throwing as many punches as you were throwing before. because that will stop you. You know, if every time you try to hit or kick someone, they stop you with a low kick, that will definitely stop you from throwing a lot. So that's the main purpose, you know, and also hurt the person. Maybe you can throw a lot of low kicks and the person can't stand anymore. They'll fall and maybe can end the fight. So it really has different ways, you know, different purpose. But you can control your distance or finish the fight with low kicks, or just control the person from throwing you punches and kicks.
Okay. So now, does that affect the person's ground game as well? You know, if their legs are totally shot?
Yeah, it can if it hurts a lot. Maybe they don't have any strength in the leg and can close the guard or can move around or can put the hooks in the back. You know, it can affect.
Okay. And Sabina, my last thing, I've seen you do this before. How does one use a triangle not only to submit people, but to do damage? Like, what does a person have to do? Because I've seen you use a triangle, and I was watching the fights last night, and I saw Marion Renaud submit Sarah McMahon with a triangle. You know, I don't know if you caught the fights, but man, I saw her submit, and I've seen you use a really good triangle. So how can a person use that, you know, for damage?
Well, it's a really good position. You know, the person only has one hand out. You know, so you can totally throw some elbows there. You know, they can't do too much. And if they worry too much about punches, you can submit with the choke or with the armbar. So, um, yeah, some elbows, some punches. You have a lot of space there to kind of do some damage there. More than submission, you can totally find a lot of blood there. You can throw a lot of elbows, and you don't need to worry too much about the other person punching you. You know, because you're in a really good position. So. You can definitely cut the other person.
And do the judges, you know, do the judges take that as a strong position, or do they take it as a defensive position, like you're trying to defend? You know, if you have a person in a good triangle, because sometimes judges they don't look at that you're delivering elbows and strikes from the triangle.
Well, sometimes if the person that got the triangle, it's not moving, it's not throwing punches or elbows, it's just resting there. Of course, they can see it as a bad position for him. You know, if they're trying to just hold it until the round is finished, or they're just trying to breathe a little, they can definitely see that. But if your intention is trying to submit or like throwing elbows and being active, I don't know why they will see that as a bad position.
Okay. Well, dang, y'all, she done broke down some stuff. She done told you how to be successful. She done, this woman has went in today. Like, she done went above and beyond what she's supposed to do. And like, you know, but Sabina, I appreciate you. You're incredible. And I appreciate what you're doing and appreciate you being so candid and open with the fans. And you do have fans because, man, you got some viral vids and people are fans. They know the name Mazo. They know. And your opponents are going to be.
Thank you.
Well, Sabina, I really appreciate it. You know, definitely as a, you know, saying whenever I talk to you, you know, anybody you want to say hey to any of your friends or anybody you want to shout out or, you know, whatever.
Well, thanks to you. It's always great to be talking to you. And yeah, to everyone that supports me, you know, everyone that is always there trying to support and give good energy. That's all good. Thank you for always being there.
Awesome. Could you do one more thing? Could you say, this is the Colombian Queen, and you're watching Coach Shelton Harrison?
This is Sabina Mazo, the